A Jewish writer, Meyer Levine, who wrote the first adaptation, and it was much more serious, it was much more Jewish, but nobody wanted to produce it because they knew that the audience wasn't ready to see that. So it was rejected. There is now in America, in San Francisco, a play about this Meyer Levine. It's called Compulsion, about that killed him, that he wasn't able to have his play, which was actually much better than the Albert Hackett play, but it was rejected because it was too serious. And it is true, there are many passages in the play which never happened really, but in a play you have to make it exciting. And so Otto compromised. He didn't really want it, but he was convinced that to make it knowledgeable to the people, he had to give in with sometimes with the truth. But Otto never saw the play nor the film. But it was a difficult choice. Now, of course, such a play would be welcomed.
Gostaria de saber uma curiosidade que a senhora trata no seu livro, mas em que altura da sua permanência em Auschwitz a senhora tomou conhecimento da existência das câmaras de gás lá dentro? Quantos dias depois que a senhora chegou, a senhora descobriu que os prisioneiros que eram encaminhados para o banho, na verdade, iam ser executados?
Oh yes, nobody really tried to hide this from us. On the contrary, they told us with great pleasure. After the first selection, like I described, this side or this side, all the young children, all the older people went to one side. When we entered the camp and we had to undress naked, we were tattooed, all our hair was shaved, they told us, the family you have been separated from are already being killed. And they told us exactly what was happening, and they loved hurting us. They told us people were getting a piece of soap and a towel. They were told they were going to go in a shower, and they did go. And they stood there were pipes with shower heads, and they expected water to come, but nothing happened. And after several minutes, people started to have breathing difficulty. They couldn't breathe, they collapsed, they were killed. And this happened continuously, and they told us at arrival. And then we were told, and now it's your time to go in the shower. You can imagine we didn't want to go. We were beaten into it. But in our case, water came. But then people were cremated. And from day one, we saw outside, there were many chimneys. We saw at night, we saw huge flames. And in daytime, we smelled the burning of flesh. So there was no way we didn't know what was going on.
A senhora foi informada, então, imediatamente depois de chegar no campo.
And so did the Polish people, because all the concentration camps in Poland and Germany were built right next to towns. The town of Auschwitz was right next to the concentration camp. But so the people who lived there knew exactly what was going on in the camp. Dachau, Buchenwald, Bergen-Belsen, it's all in proximity of German and Polish towns.
Vários ex-prisioneiros fazem questão de viver a experiência de voltar, visitar o campo de concentração. O campo de Dachau, por exemplo, hoje há vários monumentos de várias religiões, é até bonito, eu visitei lá, aparece a frase "nunca mais", escrita em vários idiomas, é uma homenagem aos sobreviventes. Eu queria saber se a senhora teve esse impulso de visitar Auschwitz de novo, se visitou, por que visitou, e se não, por que também?
I never wanted to visit. I had such nightmares from this for many, many years, and I knew it was a horrific place, so why should I go back? In 1995, when it was the first time that the free world were able to make a big memorial service there, the Dutch television asked me to do a program with them. They phoned me in London, and I refused them straight out. And he said, well, I knew you would say that, but think it over, perhaps you change your mind, we're going to phone you again in a few days. And my mother was still alive at the time, and I talked it over with my husband, and they both said, no, you must definitely not go there. But I was thinking, perhaps when I go there, I can close up this period in my life. And the one plus thing was that some of the Russian officers who had liberated us were going to be there. So I decided I would go. I went with my husband. It was January, it was a very bleak, snowy day. And the minute we got out of the car, my husband burst into tears. And from beginning to the end, it was a half an hour filming. He just cried the whole time. And me as well. I remembered everything, just as horrible as I thought it was. And Auschwitz is one of the few concentration camps which is still there. The barracks are there, the barbed wire, the entrance, the railway line. Because most camps, there's really nothing much to see. They're just museums. It is a problem now. Should they keep the camp going? Because the barracks are in disrepair, they're falling to bits. Should they repair it? Should they make it like new? And the Polish government doesn't want to pay for it, so the world has to contribute to this. So there are many disputes, but I think at least one camp, and Auschwitz being the worst, should be there as a memorial to the 3 million people who were killed there. And it wasn't only Jewish people. Many other groups, gypsies, disabled people, gay people, Jehovah's Witnesses, many other groups were killed there. 3 million Poles as well. So it is something which is really a memorial for the whole world.
Bom, a gente pode imaginar, obviamente, o sentimento de alívio que a senhora teve quando descobriu que os russos chegaram para libertar o campo de concentração, libertar os prisioneiros. Em que momento exatamente a senhora descobriu que o campo tinha sido tomado, os alemães tinham ido embora? Qual foi a cena que deu à senhora a ideia de liberdade?
Well, you know, very often people ask me, liberation, did you really realize you had survived? How was it? And I say, it wasn't dramatic at all. For many weeks, the German had taken many of the inmates out of Auschwitz because they knew the Russians were approaching. We didn't know that. And later, after the war, those were called the death marches because many tens of thousands of people perished on marches into Germany and Austria. Just by luck and by fluke, my mother and me didn't go on those marches. We stayed behind. And one day we woke up and it was very quiet, and we went outside and all the Germans had left. And it was midwinter. Poland has a very severe winter. The snow was that high, and there were about, in Auschwitz-Birkenau, Birkenau was a women's camp, there were about 300 women left, most of them too ill really to get out of their bunks. And we didn't really know what has happened. We didn't know whether the Germans coming back. The rumor had been spread that when the Germans were leaving eventually, they are going to lock up the barracks, there were wood, and burn the whole camp down so as not to leave any signs over. And so nobody really wanted to stay behind. And we lived like that for about 10 days. There were no Russians. The Germans had even come back one day and took more people with them, and my mother included. She was taken away, but she had the amazing idea. She threw herself in the snow, and the Germans left, and she came back to the camp to be with me. That was again a horrible experience for me. I thought she was gone now. And so eventually, one day I walked around and saw at the gate. The gate was open, we could have left, but we didn't dare to go out. And huge figures stood there, all in icicles and fur, and I thought first it was a bear. But when I looked closer, I realized it was the first Austrian soldier. He was a scout, a forerunner to see what was happening, but he made us understood he couldn't stay, and more Russians would come, and they would look after us eventually. So this is what happened. We went then to Auschwitz, to the men camp, to try to find my father and my brother, but they had gone on those transport. Although at this time we had still great hopes that they would be alive. But I found somebody else I had known, and that was Otto Frank. Of course, the first question was, have you seen my family? And of course we hadn't seen them.
A Eva disse uma coisa muito importante, eu acho que a gente deve sublinhar, porque realmente, ao fim e ao cabo, talvez seja a mensagem mais importante, né? Quando ela diz que o Holocausto não foi o único genocídio. O Holocausto foi diferente, né? Diferente no sentido assim de que foi um massacre organizado em bases industriais, no esquema linha de montagem, né? Com uma burocracia perfeita. E as pessoas que presenciaram isso salientam esse fato assim de como as listas tinham que estar meticulosamente organizadas. Quando o Mengele, por exemplo, recebia um trem, ele ficava absolutamente furioso se a contagem dos prisioneiros não coincidia com a lista que ele tinha, né? E depois, uma das coisas que aconteceu também com Eichmann, né? Cujo julgamento foi presenciado pela Hannah Arendt, de onde surgiu a expressão banalidade do mal, né? Que é uma expressão que naquela época ficou muito controversa, mas que define exatamente isso, porque aquele homem era um banal, ele era um burocrata, né? Sem imaginação, que de fato cumpria ordens. Ele passou o julgamento inteiro impassível, né? Ele não dizia absolutamente nada, ele não se emocionava com nada. Teve um instante só, né, que ele ficou perturbado, um único instante, né? Foi quando o juiz o repreendeu, porque o juiz tinha mandado que ele ficasse de pé e ele não ficou, né? E o juiz repreendeu porque ele não tinha cumprido uma ordem. E isso feriu profundamente, né? O fato de que ele próprio não tinha cumprido uma ordem do tribunal, para ele era uma falta, talvez punível com a morte, que ele acabou tendo, né? Mas tirando esse aspecto, nós não podemos esquecer que genocídios existiram e continuam existindo, né? Nós tivemos o genocídio dos armênios, nós tivemos o genocídio dos ciganos, como a Eva mencionou, nós tivemos genocídio de minorias sexuais, nós tivemos genocídios na África de minorias étnicas, né? Nada disso foi organizado sistematicamente, mas nem por isso foi menos brutal. E também a potencialidade do genocídio, né, é uma coisa que está presente em muitas pessoas, né? E às vezes se manifesta assim de uma forma aparentemente insuspeita, né? Uma ofensa de tipo racial, uma brincadeira pesada, ou como foi mencionado aqui na abertura desse evento, né? Essas ameaças que estão sendo vinculadas através da internet contra nordestinos. Tudo isso faz parte do mesmo esquema de ódio, e se a gente quiser valorizar as vítimas do Holocausto, a gente tem que se lembrar que também para essas coisas nós temos que dizer nunca mais.
Bom, eu acho que a gente já está abusando um pouco da boa vontade da nossa convidada, né? Eu gostaria de fazer uma pergunta ainda, já que eu não quero perder essa chance, né? A senhora era uma adolescente quando viveu o terror de um campo de concentração. Se uma adolescente brasileira hoje, de 14, 15 anos, perguntasse à senhora o que era aquilo, o que foi o Holocausto, o que é Auschwitz, o que é que a senhora responderia?
Well, the Holocaust was a crime against humanity, especially for the Jewish people. 6 million of our people were killed, and it was an unbelievable and unfounded hatred. And this is something which I've heard in Brazil. You live together with many different races, many different religions, and you have luckily no racism here. This is something we in Europe are trying to copy you. is something which we try to achieve, but